and welcome to a plan with me. We are going to be filming for the 11th through the 17th, and we're just gonna jump into it. For today's video, we are gonna be using the heat wave kit, which is so funny because this has been like one of the coolest summers in Texas in years. So, I mean, it's still hot, it's still in the 90s, but it, I don't think has broken 100. Which is like, I guess like some sort of record at this point, which is kind of crazy. It's been like equally hot here as it has been back home in New York, which is just wild. But we're gonna need 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 boxes. So we've got 8, 9, 10, and 11. As far as foil, I am using a Build Your Own Bundle in Sunset Scales here. I did the, again, you guys know it's gonna be a situation trying to figure out the best lighting, but we will figure it out eventually. Anyhow. Got the confetti headers and sunset scales. We've got the day numbers and such, the mixed overlays, the sunny and the sparkle washi, and then the sun checker underlays. There we go. And then I do have solid underlays in deep pink, and I have my scripts in font choice 20. So let us get into it. I'm gonna fix the lighting before I actually get into it. Shit is crazy how tangled it is. Holy shit. Yeah, let's just do one of these. Polka duck. I guess that's maybe the best option. I don't know. We're just gonna jump into it right now. So this week was my, I don't know, nothing super crazy. Well, actually, something actually really exciting happened this week, though. That whole sentence was a whole ass lie. Let's just get into it. So Monday, Chris and I went to the bookstore. I did a little bit of shopping and went to Cabo Bob's for lunch. We've been currently real time dealing with a bunch of obnoxious changes to Chris's schedule. I feel like every day his schedule is changing, and it's truly stressing me the F out. I accidentally grabbed an extra page. Let me fix that. I need that because I will be filming 2 Plan With Me's today, but I don't need it right now. But yeah, I am a little bit behind on filming these. But anywho, so we got groceries. I came home. I did some filming. I did some working. I did some reading. What was I reading? This has for sure been a slower reading month than last month, but I'm not really sure how it could ever get as crazy as last month. Probably won't be that crazy again till probably November/December for Black Friday. This was the 11th. I was reading both Love Theoretically by Allie Hazelwood. I was listening to that on audio, and I was reading our book club pick for the month of August, which was Till Summer Do Us Apart by Megan Quinn. So those were like the things on my reading radar that day. And then Chris and I, of course, watched Dimension 20 as we tend to do. You know what I mean? Tuesday was a big fat filming and editing day. I literally, that's all I did the whole morning was film a bunch of videos and then edit a bunch of videos. Today is a filming day. I'm supposed to edit when I'm done with this, but I'm just like really like struggling with sleep. Like I've not been drinking like any excess caffeine or anything. I've actually been drinking like less caffeinated things because my sleep has been so bad. I'm like really trying to lay off of caffeine so that I can hopefully sleep better. But it's been rough. It's been really rough around these parts. But I did that, and then I did some more reading. I did finish Love Theoretically audio, and I continued reading Till Summer Do Us Part. And then I did have a little virtual game night with Miss Emily, which was obviously a ton of fun. Whenever we have our game nights, it's a ton of fun. Because we started out with like trying to play different games and teaching each other different games, but at this point, it's just become we just kind of shoot the shit, bitch and moan and complain and chit chat. This I think was possibly also the week that the new Taylor Swift album was announced, because I talked to Emily that week. So I think that was this day, honestly. And then Chris got home and we did watch some Dimension 20. On Wednesday, Chris and I think this was, again, we were dealing with his schedule being all wackadoodle. I think we went to Monument for lunch, which was yummy, and I was really tired this day, so I marked that. I watched a bunch of Love is Blind UK. I fucking hate how Netflix does this. I feel like they should either drop all the episodes, just drop them all, or drop them one a day. Because it's like, I feel like I have no choice but to binge it when it comes out, because otherwise I will see spoilers. But then I'm like, by the time it's been a whole week, I'm like almost not even interested anymore. Does that make sense? Does anybody agree? Because that's truly how I feel about it. I'm like, obviously I would hate to have to watch it day to day, like wait for a new episode every day, but I think it would prevent me feeling like I have to binge it to avoid spoilers and then stop caring. I don't like any of the couples. I think all of the boys are so cringe and so shit. I don't believe in any couple this year. They all suck. And they're all giving me the ick, basically. There's a couple that I'm like meh about, but no couple that I'm like obsessed with. You know what I mean? But I did watch a bunch of that, and I called my dad because of course I did. It was Wednesday. So we chatted for a bit, and then I did some editing and watched some Dimension 20. Thursday I worked. I did read more of my book this day. I didn't mark it, but I was still reading Till Summer Do Us Part. I read at least a chapter every day. I sometimes don't mark it if more exciting things have happened and I didn't spend a lot of time on reading, but I was still reading that this day. So that happened. Talked to my dad. I edited, watching Dimension 20. Thursday I worked. Usually Thursday through Sunday are my like bigger work days. So I, of course, did that, and I listened to all of Ruthless Vows this day. Oh, I was also, starting on the 12th, listening to Delilah Green Doesn't Care. Apparently, it, like, is in a really weird order on Goodreads, but I listened to Delilah Green Doesn't Care. That will be in I forgot to tell you what videos that'll be in. Till Summer Do Us Part will be in a mood reading vlog. Same with Ruthless Vows, and then Delilah Green will be in a reading gifted books video. So, and that's basically that situation. But Thursday I was working. It was actually the anniversary of Chris's dad passing away, which is kind of weird because I marked being sad this day, and I'm gonna be honest, I didn't clock that that's what day it was until like last week, like a few days ago, real time, which makes me feel like a piece of shit. But also Chris didn't clock it, so you know. But I was feeling quite sad this day, which you guys will see why the next day. I was very anxious, very sad. I watched a bunch of YouTube and some Dimension 20. And then Friday was a really, really good day. I woke up to a screenshot from my sister because we've been in like the works of her and her girlfriend Brooke they've been wanting to like come visit for months now. We've been talking about it, and we were thinking maybe over the summer, but then she's like, well, I'd rather come maybe when it's like starting to get chilly here, da 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 da. And then they proceeded to have like the hottest summer ever, whatever. So then she was like, what do you think about me maybe coming for your birthday? And I was like, I think that's a perfect idea. So, and then she was like, is it okay if we like arrive in on your birthday just because of like work schedules? And I'm like, yeah, I don't care. So my sister and Brooke booked their flights to come visit me for my birthday. So like after having like a really like emotional day the day before, like feeling really anxious and sad and stressed out, to wake up on my birthday or to a text that my sister's gonna be here on my 30th birthday, best news ever. I was so excited. So then I did some working, watched some YouTube, I listened to some audio books, I listened to Love in Focus by Lila Lee, which is also going to be in the mood reading vlog, and Nora Goes Off Script I think is also in that mood reading vlog. It was like a 2-week vlog, and I read way too many things in that video. It's probably going to be really long. It's on my list to edit this week, and I'm not looking forward to it. But I did read it. And then we had game night. We did a little lightning draft. Basically, like our friend Russ, he bought an entire booster box of the newest magic collection called Edge of Eternities. And we so basically all, like, packs themselves are like $5-ish. We all Venmo'd him money for like 3 packs each. And we did like a little mini draft with the 6 of us. It was our regular 5 plus Russ. And yeah, it was quite fun. I really liked my deck, and Russ is like the magic guru of our group. He's been like playing for his whole life, and I beat him for the first time ever. So I literally almost passed away. This was me, like about to pass away that day. So it was pretty cool. And I then got my period on Friday, and just like all of my mental breakdowns started to make sense, as they tend to do whenever you realize that's what's going on. I was like, oh, that's where we're at. Okay. Everything's right in the world. Everything makes sense again. You know, that's kind of where I was at in that moment. So then Saturday, I woke up, I worked and I read, I finished Nora Goes Off Script, and I listened to Taming 7, which is the 5th Boys of Tommen book. And the spoiler alert, it's in the mood reading vlog. I did give it 5 stars, which is like one of the most shocking ratings to come out of me this year, because I've been kind of like a low-key hater on the series. A hater who's still giving them 4 stars, but it's like, why? But that's actually the shortest of all of them, and I think it deeply helped the situation. But I did that. Oh, this was the day that I impulsively had ordered color depositing conditioner and colored my hair pink, and then hated it so deeply, so I proceeded to like feel really bad about myself for the next week. Like, I've literally never felt more ugly in my life. But I did that, and then I just felt like absolute asshole all day. Like, I had so much work to do, and so I couldn't like just take the day off to lay on my heating pad, but like I was unwell, truly. And Chris and I watched some Dimension 20. Sunday I worked and I read, I listened to finished up Boys of Tommen, and listened to all of Keep It in the Family by John Mars, which is going to be in a Besties Picks My Reads, my friend Caitlin edition. So that'll be coming on up, and then I think that's pretty much all that I read that day. Watched some YouTube, got fast food of sorts, and Chris and I did binge watch some Dimension 20. And that was this week. That was this week in full. That's how it went. Those were the things that were done. And yeah, it was a pretty fine week. I think my sister booking that trip was really like the highlight of the week, obviously, because I freaking miss her so bad. And I'm just excited. She hasn't been here in over a year. I think the last time she came was like May of last year, and it was not the best trip because she was going through a like really devastating, really traumatic breakup while she was here. Like, they had just broken up days prior, so it was a really chaotic trip, and she was not in the best headspace, and so it was like really hard because we were trying to like have fun together, but she was not like in a having fun kind of mood, rightfully so. I wouldn't be either in that situation, but it did quite affect our trip together. So I'm just gonna throw in the overlays here. I just like want to make sure that we spread everything out, you know, because I'm gonna have to use some of like the little star or the little bows or the corners on 2 boxes, so I like to do one on both sides, you know what I mean? So we'll do one over here. I'm just gonna use the bows because that's what was readily at my fingertips. Boom. I just think the colors, I don't really even particularly love the like theme of this art, but I just loved the colors that I was like, yup, 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 abso-fruitly, this is what we're doing, baby. So that's that. We need to do deco and then header overlays, and then we're done. But yeah, so last time my sister came to visit, like I said, was quite not that fun. I don't really know how else to say it. Not that it, like, we made the most of the situation, but it was a lot of tears, a lot of big emotions, a lot of bad moods, rightfully so. Very much so, rightfully so. She was being brave. She was being as brave as she could, you know? I felt really bad for her because she had been so excited to like do all the things when she came, and then she's like, and then all she wanted to do was just go sit by the pool, and my like key to my neighborhood pool, just like there was something wrong with the gate, and so we just like couldn't get in there for like the whole time she was here. The first day the door was like not properly locked, I think, because they were like landscapers were there, so we were able to get in the one time we wanted to, and then the door was just like, it would not, like, I'd scan the little like key tag and it would like flash green, but like would not unlock. And so we called and we ended up getting a new tag. It came like weeks later. It still didn't work. And then one time Chris and I were on a walk and we saw a woman like vigorously pulling at the door, and we like talked to her. Basically like the same thing was happening to her, and it was so irritating. But she just fucking like shook that shit until it opened, and eventually it did. So I don't know if sister plans on wanting to go to the pool while she's here this time. I'll have to ask her so I can see if the key tag even works, or next time I go for a walk, which I'm probably gonna go on a walk today because I need to get the mail. So maybe I'll go on like the pool is literally like, to get to my mailbox you gotta walk to the end of the street and take a right. The pool is end of my street, take a left. So it's literally the opposite direction, but it would just be like a longer walk, which is fine. I could use the exercise and the fresh air and just listen to my audiobook. I'm like super enjoying it, but I do need to get it done because it's due in like 4 days, and it's the last book in a series, and I'm ready for it to be done. But I can bring the key tags, I think I still have both of them, and see if they unlock the door before I even ask her. I'll just text her and be like, by the way, my key tag still doesn't work, or I can be like, by the way, the key tag does work if you do want to go to the pool. I may like maybe one of these days go to the pool just by myself. now that school's back in session. But we're gonna zoom in and do the day by day. Okay, let's get into it, baby. I don't need this because I didn't go to any movies. So, starting with a label to mark shopping. Pop that in, and then we will pop in a little label. This yellow is like so fluorescent. Kind of hurts my eyes a little if I'm being honest with you, but like in a good way, for sure a good way. Groceries and filming. Okay, so for doing some shopping, we'll grab Lottie with a shopping bag. Then for, I like grabbed it and it didn't come with me. We're gonna use a bunch of the mini icons from my shop. They are on a sheet called Mini Icons. Then there is Mini Icons Volume 2. And there's a bunch that we do full sheets of. Like this first one I'm gonna use is the place setting. We do full sheets of these in the shop. We've got the mini grocery cart and the mini filming camera. I've got the hiccups, I do apologize for that. So I'm gonna grab the shopping script from the foil bundle. So that'll be in a different font. It'll be in font choice 6, which is like a thicker scripty cursive font. I do also offer upload your own font, and if there's ever like a past font of the month that you want, you can just put that in the notes because I obviously have all of those files. I'm gonna grab a with Chris for us grabbing food, then a groceries and a film. And this is all in font choice 20. I just would like to center this a little bit better. There we go. Moving down yonder, I'm gonna mark that I did do some work. I don't know what it is about these like little rounded boxes that I find it so hard to like place them straight. I don't really know what the issue is, but the issue does exist. And then this will be for reading. And I'll grab another label for watching Dimension 20. So for working, I'm gonna grab the laptop from the Doodles. Works out because it's like the one color that I don't have down here, like the darker orange. Then I'm gonna grab the book icon from the mini icons sheet, which we do also have a full sheet of. And if there is anything you ever want to see a full sheet of mini icons for, literally let me know. It takes like 3 seconds to whip it up. As well as a TV, which again, we do have full sheets of in the shop. And then I will grab my scripts. We're gonna grab work, which I love this font because the O's are smiley faces. It's really cute. Read in Dimension 20. Perfect. And then up to Tuesday, the first thing we're gonna mark on Tuesday is filming, and then we will mark editing. Filming and editing. So for film, I'm gonna grab another camera mini icon, and you'll be able to see that they look just as good on like bigger boxes. Like literally does not impact how cute it looks. And then I'm gonna grab Lottie on her laptop for editing because I do edit on a laptop, so I think it works out perfect. So I'm just gonna grab a film script and an edit script. Film and edit. Very cute. And then I'm gonna mark that I did do a bit of reading. And I played games with Emily and watched Dimension 20. These colors are just so fun. They're just not colors I use all that often, so it's always fun when you're using some different colors. So we'll use this fanned out book for read, and then I will use the meeple for playing games with Emily, and then I will use the D20 for watching Dimension 20. It's kind of funny that these are like on the color that they match. So I'll grab a read script, the D20 script, with Emily script. Perfect. Then on Wednesday, to mark Chris and I going on an impromptu lunch date, we'll grab this. For me being sleepy girl, we'll grab this. And then for watching a bunch of Love is Blind, well, this pattern's funny because it's just like a bunch of different types of fans, which I don't know, I just think it's hilarious. For Chris and I getting lunch, we're going to use this little fork and knife plate thing from SPC. For me being tired, I'm going to grab the bed icon from the Mini Icons sheet. And then for watching Love is Blind, we'll grab the Netflix TV because it is on Netflix. Grab it with Chris. And then from the foil bundle, I'm going to grab Tired as Fuck, which is in font choice 5, as well as TV Time, which is in font choice 4. Then down here, I will mark having my weekly call with my dad. You can pop that in. And I did do more editing because apparently I cannot be stopped. And Chris and I did watch Dimension 20, of course. Okay, so for talking on the phone with my dad, I'm going to grab the smartphone mini icon. For editing, we're just going to grab the retro computer. And then for watching Dimension 20, I'm just going to grab like the big old chunky TV. So we've got with dad, we've got edit, and we've got D20. And that's everything for this first half of the week. Moving into the second half, we're gonna just start super strong with working and editing. Working and reading. Work and read. So for work, we're gonna grab Lottie with all of her like planner stuff because I make planner stickers, obviously. And then for reading, we'll grab the stack of books, which is the bright yellow, which we love. Work and read. Then we will move down yonder. So I'm gonna put this grab out of my duty, which is a negative emotion, obviously. Okay. We're gonna grab this to mark that I was a sad biatch. Then we can use this to mark YouTube binge. And then another label to mark Dimension 20. So for being sad, I'm just gonna grab this face. It's either Once More Than Love or the Coffee Monsters Co. I really can't tell the difference. Then I'm gonna grab a movie clapper, which we do have full sheets of in the shop, and as well as the other TV. The foil bundles do come with 2 of each icon. So then I'm gonna grab Sad Bitch, and I do use technically like an XL custom multi every week, which gets you 60 scripts. And then a regular custom gets you half that, so 30. D20, perfect. Up here, the first thing I'm going to mark is my sister's coming to town. Oh yeah, Santa Claus is coming to town. So I'm very thrilled by this news. So we will do one of these baddies and then YouTube binge. Perfect. So for my sister coming, I'm going to use the airplane mini icon. For working, work, we will use the sticker, sure. And then for YouTube binge, we're going to use a movie clapper. So I have a Sissy script because she's coming and I'm excited. And then work and YouTube binge. Then down here we will mark that I did some reading. We need pink. Perfect. And then we had game night. So we'll use the yellow flag, which is simply going to blind me, but it's fine. And then I got my period. Okay. So for reading, I am going to use my headphones icon. Make sure you're subscribed over at Hannah's Reading Realm so you can get all the info on all the fun books I've been reading from my reading vlogs. And then I'm going to use the panties icon for getting my period. Okay, we're going to grab read. We'll grab WTF, because that's how it feels, getting your period. It's like, fuck, not again. Not again. Truly. Night game. Perfect. Then on Saturday, mark that I worked. And of course, red. So for work, I'm going to use the planner icon because we'll be making planner stickers. And then for reading, we will use the like audio book situation because that's mainly what I be doing on work days. Is I don't read a ton that's like not audio because I be reading while I work and it makes life easy. And this was the day of the horrible pink hair. So we'll mark that, unfortunately. And I felt like shit. And Chris and I watched Dimension 20. Okay. So for the hair situation, I'm gonna use like a clock icon because I like had to sit on my hair for a while. I don't know. Then for, you know, the whole cramps situation, we're gonna do one of these. And then I'm gonna go into my collection to get something to mark Dimension 20. We'll use this like orange D20. I don't know what shop that's from, but that's what we're using. Pink hair of doom. I'm gonna grab another WTF and a D20, a little D20. Perfect. And then Sunday, the first thing I'm gonna mark is working and reading. Same little combo there. There we go. So for working, we're gonna use the boxes, like the packages, because I always package up orders on Sunday, so I like to use that icon there. And then we will use Lottie wearing her headphones. It's actually so funny. These icons make it so all 4 colors are in here. I just love when that happens. So grab a work script, and then I'm gonna grab the read script from the foil bundle, which is actually gonna be in font choice 3. How perfect is that? Then down here, we're gonna mark YouTube binge. Then I got fast food. YouTube binge. This is the first of the pink little things that we're using. And then binge watch. Very yellow day. Okay. I can get all this nonsense out my way. Get it all out of here. Okay, so for YouTube binge, we will use the YouTube laptop. Boom. For getting fast food, I'm gonna use the car icon because be driving through the drive-thru. And then for binge watch, we will grab the Lottie with her big ass TV. We're gonna use a bunch of scripts from the foil bundle. We're gonna start with YouTube binge, which is in font choice 4. Fast food, which is in font choice 5, and binge watch, which is also in font choice 5. And then that's the whole Kit Kat and Caboodle. That's this whole spread donezo. Let us zoom out so you can see the whole thing. here she is in all of her glory. Let me know what you think down below, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.